Okay, how we looking? Oh god. What's going on with my hair today? Jeez, I didn't even notice. It's like I didn't even look in the mirror today. Oh, fuck it. It's just there now. That's just there. Whatever this thing is, that's staying. That's. Come on, get up in there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, the hair's just doing. It's a rebel. It's doing whatever it wants today. Okay? It's doing whatever it wants. Welcome. Fingerlui Mugelwanoff Cthulhu. Rilya Gagnagel Vat. Welcome everyone to another Funday Sunday, where we're going to be doing, I don't know, fuck all. Like, fuck all if I know, dude. You guys are going to choose. You guys are going to choose a platform. You guys are going to choose a box. And all we're going to do is be good about it. All we're going to do is have fun with it. We're going to have fun with it. Why do you sound like a goblin? I have no idea. You look like a girl today? Thank you. Thank you. I like it. That's a very nice compliment, Christy. I appreciate it. Inside Sources clearly does not know what malding is. Inside Source is a little bit confused. He's a little bit confused today. But that's okay. It's Sunday morning. We're all confused. Okay? We are all confused. You look 5 years younger without your beard. That's good. That's definitely good. I should definitely. I like to keep a little bit of grizzle, but I don't like to have a full-on beard because there are patches in my beard that just don't fill in. They just don't fill in, regardless. Inside Sources, I'm sure there's going to be molding a little bit later. Don't you worry. You sound so low. Do I? Maybe the gain isn't up high enough? How's that? A little better? I mean, I didn't change any of the settings. Everything looks normal on my end. Do I sound okay? What do you guys think? Do I sound okay? You're still asleep? No, I'm not still asleep. I've been up for a few hours now. I've been up for a few hours now. I'm awake. You legit sound like a goblin at lower sound. Okay, we'll turn up the sound then. Turn up the volume. Why are you listening to it at low volume? Komodo Exec, Robot, and Kuwahi. Thank you for the follows. Cthulhu Fatten to all of you. And we're going to be getting into some more dark magics today. First of all, for those who don't know, my new YouTube video is up for those who want to learn how to write their own malware, how to call the Win32 API, what the Win32 API even is, what value it serves you. I encourage you to check out that video. It's on my YouTube right now. It's just I posted it yesterday. And there will be another Patreon video coming hopefully later this week. I'm planning to work on it tonight, and I'm hoping to film it tomorrow. And I'm hoping to get that. I'm hoping to get a new Patreon video out this week on DLL sideloading. DLL sideloading this week. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that out there today. Or not today. I'm gonna start working on that today, and hopefully have that for you by the end of the week, depending on when my editor is free. Ghostwire asks, how happy are you with your MacBook Pro so far? Planning on getting myself one for CyberSec related stuff for Christmas. Honestly, I really like it. I really like being back in a Mac OS environment. It's so much better than a Windows environment. Like being back in a Mac OS environment reminds me of how much I really just despise Windows. I've just gotten used to Windows for several years, so it's normal to it now. It's normal to me now, but being back in the Mac OS environment really is nice. You can there's always going to be people in the chat who are pissy about how overpriced it is, but I'm going to be fucking honest with you, my dude. If you want a high performance laptop, there really is no alternative. It's not even overpriced. If you just want it's not even overpriced. I compared it. I went to Micro Center. I went to Micro Center where they have MacBook Pros alongside HP, alongside Asus, alongside all these other laptop brands. I looked at all the laptops that were comparable in price and in capabilities. Most of them were gaming laptops. We're talking I'd be looking at a $3,500 a $3,500 Asus laptop. It'd be so thick. It's like this fucking big. Okay? It's like this thick. It has a battery that lasts like an hour. It has a 1080p monitor. It has 16 gigs of RAM, or if you're lucky, you'll get 32 gigs, and it's running Windows 10. Okay, that's what you're dealing with for $3,500, and apparently all of that $3,500 is a 3080 Ti, which granted is a great graphics card. That's a great graphics card, but I can pay the same price. I can pay the exact same price over at Apple and get an M1 processor. An M1 processor compared to a fucking i7, where there's no comparison there. Absolutely zero comparison in speed between an M1 processor and a fucking i7. A battery that seems like it lasts for goddamn ever. But that's the most impressive thing about this laptop. I'm going to be honest with you. The most impressive thing is the battery that lasts literally forever. Like, I could just use it for the whole fucking day, for the whole workday, off of the battery. I could use it constantly for the whole workday, off of AC adapter power, and it would just go. It would just fucking go. It would just do it. It's crazy. Like, its battery is not negligible. And also I can get there's a decent graphics card in it too, so it is actually graphically capable. It's just the fact that it's it's a Mac and it's on ARM architecture, which means it might not be able to run all the games you want. Okay? But it also has 64 gigs of RAM. 64 gigs. 64 gigs compared to 16. And when you're doing virtualization, you need that RAM. That RAM is super valuable to you. So if you want a workhorse that you're not going to be playing games on, you're going to be working on, yeah, honestly, MacBook Pro is, I don't even think it's overpriced compared to other laptops. I looked at the other options, okay? I looked at the other options on the market, and I'm going to be honest with you, the MacBook Pro was outperforming all of them. It was kicking their asses. Like, it wasn't close. So, like, it's great for like a workhorse. Now, the virtualization is a little bit of a challenge. It's a little bit of a challenge because you are on an ARM processor. If you get one of the M1 ones, you are on an ARM architecture, which means that if you want to get an x86 architecture, you have to emulate it, which is going to be a significant performance dip. So you can do that. You can take the performance dip, or you can use, there is Windows 11 on ARM, which Parallels can run really easily. Windows 11 on ARM will automatically emulate an x86 architecture for you without too much of a dip in performance. So I've found it's workable. I've been able to test my malware inside of a Windows 11 on ARM architecture, and it's been fine so far. It's been good. I did part of the video that I did part of the research for the video on the new MacBook Pro, and it worked just fine. Some of the process injection, it worked just fine. I managed to buy a MacBook Air for 2020 with M1 for $600. The battery just, I'm telling you, it lasts forever. Like, it just lasts for fucking ever. I'm telling you, compared to other laptops, which it feels like the battery lasts for an hour, 2 hours tops. Like, it feels like the MacBook Pro lasts forever. I'm really happy with the battery life. It's been, and honestly, I've been real happy with it so far. How's the graphics card being ARM for Hashcat? Haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried it for Hashcat's purposes yet. Haven't had a need to crack anything with it yet. Do you spin up a VM on the Mac, or you just install everything on the Mac directly? I've been doing a combination of both. Most of the tools, you are on a Unix-based environment, so you can just homebrew, like, install most things. Like, I like CrackMap exec, Docker, Impacket. Python comes installed by default. I can install Rust on it, Nim on it. Most of the stuff I can install directly on the Mac, and I don't even need a virtual machine. But it was easy enough to emulate to get a Kali virtual machine up and running once Parallels had fixed their shit. Parallels is pretty good. I haven't had any problems with Parallels. Parallels, if anything, is very good. Is very good. All cool hackers use MacBooks. I'm not saying that. I'm not even encouraging you to go out and buy one. Your needs are different from mine. I wanted a beefy fucking boy that I could use for a variety of different things. It also has a camera that I could use for streaming, a 1080p built-in webcam that I could use to stream remotely. If I travel, I'll be able to stream to you remotely through that laptop. I also wanted to be back in a Mac OS environment for various reasons. I wanted enough RAM. Honestly, it's hard to find a laptop with more than 32 gigs of RAM. 32 gigs would probably have been enough for the most part, but it's nice having that extra 64. Happy user of Kali is bare metal plus VMware from Windows if needed on it. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. I mean, your needs are going to be different from mine. I'm not telling you to go out and buy a MacBook Pro. I'm just saying I'm impressed. But then we won't have the Shura audio quality. I mean, that's true. That is true, yes. But I think you'd be surprised with how good the microphone is on the Mac, too. You need a gaming laptop? Those bad boys are beasts? No, thank you. If there's anything that's overpriced, it's those fucking gaming laptops. Where's your Apple referrer code? I have no Apple referrer code, okay? Listen, I haven't had a MacBook Pro in many years, like 10 years until this one. I've been on Windows and Linux exclusively. I did the research. I compared it to other laptops, other comparable workhorse laptops, and I gotta tell you, the MacBook Pro is outperforming them. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's hack something. All right, I'll start the poll at least for the platform. I don't know which platform we're gonna do. All right, get your votes in on the platform. Everyone can hear gaming laptop. I wasn't going for a gaming laptop. It'd be nice to be able to play games on it. But it's not primarily for games. It's for mobile operations. I plan to use this laptop as a sidekick on mobile operations. Do wireless assessments with it. Do whole pen tests with it if I need to. I plan to use it for testing, for malware development on the go. I plan to use it for basically everything if I'm away from my PC. The only time I could justify my gaming, I do not recommend, was when I had to drag it to Arnold Hall every weekend to play. Professor Dragmeyer, are you a grad? I feel like we must have talked about this. We had to have talked about this at some point. You've got to be a grad. I'm assuming you're a grad. Okay. Well, because I also did that back in the day. I also did that because you can get on the public Wi-Fi there. And you're not stuck to the dorms, which sucks. But in my senior year, I went in with my next door neighbor in the dorms, and we actually got Comcast internet in the dorms. We had Comcast internet. We would play StarCraft 2 on Comcast internet in the dorms. That actually was an option available to us, but that was in 2010 and 2011. I very intentionally brought it out of memory just to trigger you. We have talked about it before. We must have talked about it. There's absolutely zero chance we haven't talked about you being a grad, if you're a grad. So my bad on that one. Yeah, I definitely recall going to get on the public Wi-Fi at Arnold Hall. But my senior year, again, I got tired of that, and I paid for public internet in the dorms. Question for everyone. What would you recommend for learning AD for pen testing? I've started with TryHackMe, Compromise. TryHackMe has a lot of great modules for AD. I'd also recommend Hack the Box's paid labs. That's pretty good. It looks like Proving Grounds has been selected. So let me go ahead and get logged in. Logged in to Proving Grounds. Is there a specific website you recommend to learn Python? Dude, there's like 100,000 of them. Like, you can't throw a rock on the internet these days without finding 50 more websites at which to learn Python. Just pick one. Just, like, honestly, you guys are paralyzed. Like, this is the biggest problem, okay? The biggest problem is you guys get paralyzed forever wondering where the best place to learn something is. Just fucking start. Just start learning something. It doesn't matter if it comes from a book, or it comes from Code Academy, or it comes from HackerRank. It doesn't fucking matter. Just put your hands on the keyboard and start learning stuff, okay? What's the next video going to be about? Next video is going to be a Patreon video on DLL sideloading. Patreon video on DLL sideloading. I have to get more Patreon content out too. So that's going to be the next one. After that, I'm planning to do... after that, I'm open to suggestions. I could do some more process injection stuff. I have had some comments on the process injection video already that are asking for more of a primer on NIM, like how to get started with NIM. So I could do that if you guys wanted to. I could definitely do that if you guys wanted to. AV evasion. Everyone always wants AV evasion. I think I'm gonna, rather than focus directly on AV evasion itself, I'm gonna focus on how to code your own shit, which should have AV evasion just built into it. Spoofing. You mean PPID spoofing? We could talk about PPID spoofing. That's a little bit advanced. But you certainly could do it. We certainly could do that. Okay, offensive security. This one. You don't need AV evasion anyway for OSCP. There might be a couple of machines in the lab that have antivirus. Maybe, but I don't think it's going to be a big problem on the exam. Oh, wow, they have Cloud 100 now. Introduction to ARM assembly. Big fucking brain. Interesting. Introduction to ARM assembly. Very cool. Out of context, just a question. Does PI on process that uses Internet AnyDesk work the same way? Does EDR check on those meticulously? I couldn't tell you. Different EDR might check on it. It's tough to say. It is tough to say. Every EDR is different. Let's do labs. I swear to God, they change this. They change this interface every single week, and I can never remember. Okay, we have a couple of new machines in here. They've put a few new machines in here. All right, let's go ahead and let me connect to it. We can figure out. Well, let's look at. Okay, here we are looking at the machines. Let's zoom in so we can see. All right, the ones that are marked new, funnily enough, are new. Okay, so let's start with. We have a number of new easy boxes. ICMP, which is... Okay, well, let's put all the new ones on the list first. I'm not a fan of the new Proving Grounds look. It's fine. Like, I think it looks nice. They just keep changing it underneath me, so I keep forgetting how to use it. It looks fine. It's just, I wish they would stop changing it, so I have to keep figuring it out on the fly as we go, or as I stream here. Okay, so there's all the new ones. We can also put. We could just put bottleneck and DC4 on there as well. All right, get your votes in. Ideally not an easy box. I mean, I'm just putting all the new boxes in there, okay? On Tuesday, we're going to do more Wreath. We're doing Wreath again on Tuesday. We've got to get through Wreath. Last time I let Wreath go for too long, and I completely forgot what was going on with that one. Okie dokie. Hoping you're having an awesome day. Grace, seeing everyone in chat have a fantastic Labor Day. Hey, thanks for being here, Grace. I appreciate it. These are all Linux machines? I believe so, yes. I mean, judging by the penguins next to them, yes. There are no Windows machines in the in Proving Grounds Play, in the free Proving Grounds labs. But unfortunately, I'm not allowed to do Proving Grounds practice currently. They don't want me to do that. Flipso with the 4-month re-indoctrination. Welcome back, my friend. Liam, DMCA agent, XDV6, Kuwahi, Robot, and Komodo exec. Thank you for the follows. Cthulhu Fountain to all of you. Okay, DC4 was selected. Oh, fuck. I forgot I have to connect to the thing. Okay. We're connected to the Proving Grounds. I keep having it try to close. It keeps insisting. Close. Turn it off. I don't want Kali Linux on. Off. I don't understand why it won't close it. Turn off. Dude, this is fucking dumb. Please shut off, dude. It won't fucking off. Fucking Christ. I'm just trying to get the in-browser Kali Linux to go the fuck away, and it won't stop. Jesus. It's so obnoxious. There we go. Like, I was hitting stop, and it wouldn't stop. It just stayed up. It looks like it finally stopped. There we go. Malding already? Well, offensive security should be better than that. Come on, let's be better. Where did you get your desktop background? I commissioned that artwork. Alright, we're starting DC4. You mistakenly started that lab without connecting to the VPN. Yeah, I know it tries to automatically start like a in-browser Kali Linux, which I fucking hate. If you're not connected to the VPN, it tries to start an in-browser Kali Linux, and it just will not close it. Once it's open, it just refuses to close it. Okay, it's still starting. It's still starting. We're waiting for it to start. What distro? I think I've said Kali Linux like 50 times. The distro you're looking at is Kali Linux. Okay. Let's change this. I don't know why Streamlabs is like this now. It didn't used to be like this, but it is now. Okay. All right, we're doing DC4 on Proving Grounds. It looks like it's up. So let's see if we can ping it. Oh, do we want to do Stream Raiders or Marbles? I think we'll probably do Stream Raiders. Also, why does this open to the wrong size? My biggest irritation with Cool Retro Term is it never seems to open to the size I want it. Alright, that's probably about right there. Okay. Okay, let's start Tmux. Okay, and we're in. Let's ping it. And we cannot ping it. Good start. Hex died at what? You forgot to announce the stream on Discord? Oh, I did forget. Okay, I'll do it right. I'll do it really quickly. I'll do it real quick. There you go. Okay. So good start. We can not ping it. What's going on? What? It says I'm connected. Maybe it's not responding to pings, which would be a little unusual for a, I mean, we can try it. Let's see if there are any ports open here. I suspect that we're having connectivity issues for some reason. Yeah, it looks like we are, it looks like we do not have connectivity to the machine for some reason. The box is running. I mean, I don't think it doesn't respond to anything. I don't think that it's anything. I don't think that there's any connectivity at all. I guess I'll try downloading the thing again. One second. Let's see if we have any more luck now. All right, it says we're connected. Let's try stopping the box. Well, let's try pinging it first real quick. Still cannot ping it. Well, we're starting the box back up, and we'll see. Can someone tell me, can someone check a write-up and find out what ports are supposed to be open here, and if I'm supposed to be able to ping it? I just want to be able to make sure that We're waiting for it to boot. 22 and 80? Okay, so the normal ones. Well, let's see if we can get it working now. It's starting up now. How is life and how's things going? Pretty good. I can't really complain. I cannot complain, other than the fact that Proving Grounds does not seem to be working today. We cannot connect to the machine. Yeah, we can ping the internet. Well, we still cannot ping it, folks. It looks like this one is dead. Okay, Hex Digest, I'm not molding, okay? I just want the shit to work, okay? I just want the shit to work. There's no molding here. The shit is just not working. So it looks like DC4 is dead on arrival. I just restarted the machine, Fantasy Sue Hale. Do you want me to restart it a second time? No, I just restarted it. I restarted it. I re-downloaded the VPN file. It looks like DC4 just doesn't work. It looks like DC4 just doesn't work, fellas. I'm going to kill it. Let me try a different one. Let's try ICMP. I'm just picking it at random. I just want to see if we can connect. I don't want to go through... I don't want to switch to another platform at the moment. I want to try and do one on Proving Grounds. You guys picked the Proving Grounds, and so that's what we're doing. If we can't get any boxes to... If this next box does not connect, if we can't connect to this next box, then we'll switch platforms. I don't care if it's available on VulnHub for download. I'm not starting up a new a VPN from VulnHub, like right here on stream. I want to just get started hacking something, not spend 40 minutes configuring configuration. We're trying to get to the interesting stuff. Like, there's nothing to try harder. Like, Hex Digest. Like, the box just doesn't work. Let's see if we can ping this other one. Okay, this one we can ping. It looks like that DC4 just has some issues. Alright, we're doing DC4. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Or we're doing ICMP, not DC4. Okay. ICMP. That terminal is dope. Hey, thanks, Gonski. Appreciate it. By the way, if anyone has any interest in being mods, reach out to me. Reach out to me directly if you have interest in being a mod. None of my mods except for Maticus show up for streams anymore. Which is ironic because Helen of Tor used to complain about no mods showing up other than her, and she hasn't been in a stream for like 900 fucking years. This looks familiar. Have I done this box before? I swear I've seen this one. I swear I've seen this. I'd be happy to help out. Reach out to me on Discord. Not here today. What's their pay? Nothing. Like, I'm not paying them anything. I'm not bashing them for not being there in the stream. It's just if you're gonna be a mod, that you have to show up for streams every now and again. That's all. You don't have to be in there for every stream. But Helen of Tor legitimately has not been in chat for like 5 weeks. Maticus Maximus is not the problem. He's the Black Noir of this outfit, okay? I'm Homelander. Like some of you, I'm Homelander giving the, like telling everyone they've been erratic, unreliable, downright sloppy. And not you, Maticus Maximus. You're doing great. And I say that on the one day that Maticus Maximus actually isn't in here because he's got prior obligations. But again, you can miss a few streams, just not like every fucking stream for the last several weeks. You're spending too long recruiting. Exactly. I feel like I need new mods every 3 weeks. Like, I have one reliable mod and no one else even shows up. Okay, we just have port 80 open. We see that this port is filtered, so there's likely a firewall there blocking cold fusion, so we can expect the Privask to be some kind of a local host listener sort of situation happening. All right, so let's do a full port scan. I don't even know what to do about it because, again, they're not paid or anything, but I do need mods in chat. Just hit me up. Reach out to me on Discord. I'm not going to remember after the stream that Hikaru TV offered to be a mod. Reach out to me on Discord if you're interested. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks like just 80 and 22. While that's going, let's open it up in the browser. Don't shave your full face. Maybe someone will reach out. Look, it's not my fault that my beard has, like, patches in it, okay? I'll let it grow out for a while, and then I shave it all off, and I let it grow again. That's how I've done it for many years. Yeah, I've definitely seen this before. Maybe not on this box, but I've definitely seen this before, and I remember that there was a vulnerability in it. Okay, let's find info. We're looking for some version information. I want version information. So looks like this is the GitHub page. This looks pretty old. It looks like it's just a service monitoring tool by the looks of things. Again, I've definitely seen this before, and it was definitely in the concept probably not on this box, but probably a different box, which had this same thing running. Here we go. Monitor 1. Wait, that was a version 1.7.6M. So we head right over to Searchsploit. Yeah, see, I told you. Yeah, I know it was something. Let's take a look at this. Just unauthenticated remote code execution. Yeah, this one's not going to be in Baldur. Don't say that yet. We might be in like a container or something. We'll see. Let's just copy the remote code, the unauthenticated remote code execution. And let's see if we can do it manually. Let's just open this up so we get syntax highlighting and I can read it easily. Okay, it gives a user agent. This is a file upload. Yeah, this is a file upload. Assets, PHP. Looks like there's an upload functionality. And you can just upload a PHP file, apparently. The image type is image. The content type is going to be image GIF, and it checks for magic bytes. You can just have magic bytes in there. By the looks of things, we're going to try and do this manually, so that And then you just browse to it. User image. Okay, so it looks like it's probably for... let's go to monitor settings, maybe? Let's try and find this image upload. User preferences. Data dir. I don't know. Could not find driver. This is a very strange... This looks like the kind of thing I would see on an internal network somewhere. I could see assets. What was the path again? It's in Kate. It's assets php upload.php. Let's verify that we can reach that. Maybe we can't reach it. It doesn't look like... Or maybe it's in... Where was assets located again? Was it in mon? Maybe it's probably /mon. It looks like it's probably mon/mon/assets. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, we can reach it. I cannot go... Oh, it opens a new page. All right, let's open up Burp. Just rip the exploit and get a shell? No, I'm going to do it manually if I can. It makes it more interesting for you if I do it manually. I can see how it's working based on how this goes. It's not complicated. It's just a simple file upload. There's no reason to just rip a exploit script if I can do it manually and you learn more for it. Why is this taking forever? There we go. You don't learn anything if I just execute an exploit script without knowing how it is. Also, that knowing what it does. And also, that's just bad practice. You should understand what an exploit script is doing before you execute it. So we're going to I'm going to demonstrate it manually. Like, what? Come on, go away. Are you kidding me? Please go away. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, I don't know what's going on with Burp. Oh my god, today is technical issues day, apparently. Okay, let's try it again. I think if I was doing this solo, I'd rip the exploit. Oh, I'm sure 90% of you would rip the exploit immediately. You shouldn't do that, though. You should understand how the exploit works, both for your own learning and because it's bad practice to just execute code that you don't understand. And this one is very simple. It's just a simple file upload. It's easy enough to demonstrate what's going on. Okay. Okay. Let's go to user options, display. Let's make this bigger. There we go. Let's make this bigger.
A hunter must hunt.
Okay.
Holy moly, I have not been in here in a hot minute. Been busy with work, but hope everything has been well.
G-Nade, good to see you. By all means, welcome back. And yeah, everything has been well. I can't really complain. Well, I could, but nobody would listen. 8081. Okay. Let's refresh the page. Oh, it's intercepting. Okay, good. It does appear to be working. Okay. Okay, I don't want it in full screen. I don't know when it was full screened, but I never wanted it that way. So please stop. Okay. So, what we're going to do here... Let's just send a GET request to... I wish I could... It does not appear... It does not appear like we're going to be able to access this upgrade... Like, they really want me to do... I don't know. Like, it says a driver is missing. Value cannot contain space. Jesus Christ. There are no spaces in that? Okay, great. I mean, last time it complained that there's no driver or something. Great. So it looks like you just cannot reach the update functionality, so we're going to have to do our best to emulate it. Assets, upload.php. Okay. There's upload.php right there. Okay, let's send this to repeater. We can change request method to a post. And now we want to recreate... we want to recreate this... we want to recreate this request. Accept language. Requested with. Accept encoding is there. And then we want X requested with. Let's make sure we get all the right headers. Got to make sure you have all the correct headers. Because it might be looking for those headers. Particularly the content type is going to be looked for. Content type is multi-part form data. Again, you could just fire this exploit, I'm fully aware, but it's easy. It's better to just see it like this. Okay, we do the boundary. Origin. And then my localhost. Localhost is Okay. Connect. Normally we wouldn't have to do all of this, but refer sysarg v1. Target URL. Oh, the origin is going to also be the IP address of the machine. Okay, like that. Okay. God, this is going to be painful. All right, let's just copy all of this, I guess. Okay, so there's the content disposition. Now it wants the content type. And then I think it wants 2 spaces. We have a carriage return to line feed times 2. Okay, and then all of that. That's the actual data in the file. Hit it twice more. And then we put this in here. The second boundary. Put a... Okay. I don't think there needs to be one there. Okay. So these are magic bytes. It looks like it's checking for magic bytes to see if so whoever made this exploit just took the first bytes of a regular GIF and put them in here. And I think we can just delete all of this, huh? Can do $_request fhtagn. Put that into the system method. Okay, that should be fine. Let's see if it does a file upload. We get a 400 bad request. So there's any number of reasons why that could be happening. God damn it. It's probably one of these carriage returns. Don't forget your start your listener. We're just gonna to the right of file upload. Oh, thank you. There is an escape character there. Thank you. Missed that one. We still get a 400 bad request. Does there need to be another space there? There we go. And it even helpfully gives us the location to where it's been uploaded to. It helpfully gives us the location of where it's been uploaded to. Assets, data. And we can try to browse to it. And looky there, we see our GIF. Wow. And we could also CMD, we can do fhtagn equals ID. And we do, in fact, get remote code execution. Does everybody see how that works? Does everybody see how that works? Do you see how, do we understand that a little bit better? Is there any part of any of this that you don't understand? Ask your questions. Is there any part of any of this that you guys don't understand? Now's a good time for questions. What's the fhtagn equals ID? So this is the actual command. I just had it accept a parameter called fhtagn, and it just puts that parameter into the system command. So fhtagn is just an arbitrary number. It doesn't have to be fhtagn. It could be CMD. It can be just an arbitrary name. I just named it fhtagn. That was a lot better than just running the script. Yeah, it makes more sense now, doesn't it? It's just a simple file upload. Does everybody understand what this is? Does everybody understand why this is here? Does that need an explanation? Does that need an explanation? I'll explain it anyways, real quick. Magic Bytes Wiki, I think it's called. They're like file descriptors, file signatures. There you go. So it comes down to how Linux decides what kind of file each file is. How does Windows do it? How does Windows distinguish different file types from one another? An executable file type from a text file, from a DLL, from a .doc, or a Word document. Yeah, file extension. Windows uses the file extension. Okay, on like Windows relies on the file. That's why whenever you change the file extension, Windows complains and says this might make the file unusable, because Windows uses that file extension to determine what type of file it is. And regular users shouldn't just be changing file extensions just willy-nilly. But Linux doesn't care about file extensions. File extensions are completely useless to Linux. It doesn't look at file extensions. There might be a web app or two on Linux that looks at file extensions. It's a common way of doing filtering for looking for file extensions. But it's not a strong one. The Linux by default uses what's called file signatures, or also called magic bytes. As in, it's going to look at the first several bytes of the file. And the first several bytes of the file tell Linux what kind of file it is. So if it's a PDF document, it's gonna start with these characters right here. %PDF. If Linux sees that, it's gonna assume it's a PDF, and I can prove that right now. Let's try that right now. Let's do let's just vim cthulhu.txt. Okay, and let's put these magic bytes at the beginning. I don't know why there's all that space. And we just put some other arbitrary content in there. Look at that. If we then ask Linux with the file command what kind of file this is, it says it's a PDF document. Does that make sense? Like, and that's only because we just added the magic bytes for a PDF. These are the magic bytes for a PDF. Does that make sense? It's just a text file, but Linux doesn't know that, because we've added that. Okay? So, going back to the actual exploit, the actual magic bytes for a GIF are this, I think, GIF 89 alpha. And we can tell that if let's look for GIF in this. Yeah, here you go. GIF 89 alpha, right here. GIF 89 alpha. The reason that there's all these other scribbles here, these don't have to be there. These don't need to be there. It looks like this person just took a random GIF that was saved on his machine, and took the first line of bytes from it and just copied them into this exploit. That's it. So they didn't go to this page or anything and copy the exact magic bytes out. They just went to a regular GIF, copied the first handful of bytes into the exploit, and it worked. Does that make sense? Does that all make sense? Does that make sense how magic bytes works? So this is an attempt to make this PHP file look like a GIF. It also is adding a content type header here. Good. All right. So now we can trivially get remote code execution. We have remote code execution. Now we can trivially we can trivially use our shell to get a reverse shell. God damn it. Let's just get the request. Right there. Send to repeater. Okay. All right. So the reason we use, the reason I like to use $_request here is that the request parameter looks in a number of places rather than just in the get requests. So I can do right click. I can change request method. And it's just a little bit easier to work with post requests when it comes to stuff like this. So now we can use this to get a reverse shell one-liner. I might modify this extension. It'd be even better if it pulled my IP address and put it in here for me. I might try to modify that extension to do that for me. I bet you I can do that. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, paste that in there. We have to URL encode it, so Control U, and that's because the content type is XWW form www form URL encoded. Let's start a listener. And we get a reverse shell.
Hackerman.
I'm in. All right, any questions? How was the ancient Egyptian showcase? It was pretty fucking great, honestly. They had a mummy there, but you couldn't really see the mummy because it was all wrapped up still. I'm like, why am I even here? But it was mostly a really nice exhibition on ancient Egyptian life. And there was this... It turns out that there was this guy... it turns out that the name Imhotep comes from the first guy to design a pyramid. Which is funny because... Does anybody know what I thought of when I saw the name Imhotep? When I saw the name Imhotep in the exhibit, what do you guys think I immediately thought of? I immediately thought of this guy. Okay? I immediately thought of this guy from Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. But it turns out that name was taken from the first Egyptian guy to like design a pyramid. Imhotep. So that was a little thing I learned from the exhibit. I wanted to go because I was planning to go on Labor Day, but they're going to be closed. And they're changing it to an exhibit on King Tut in a few weeks. So I was concerned that I wasn't going to get in there before they closed it to make the change. So I went yesterday instead of doing the new Hack the Box machine. And it was a good time. I have a kind of a thing for ancient Egypt. I really enjoy ancient Egyptian lore. So yeah, I did. That's what I did yesterday. Okay. Do we have Python 3? Let's do import pty, pty.spawn. Bin bash. Okay. Control Z, stty raw minus echo. Export term equals xterm. Okay. stty rows 34 calls 111. There we go. We should be okay now. Okay. So we have a shell. Let's see if we can find any credentials. We do see a robots.txt here that we never actually looked at. disallow. So this actually tells us. So it's telling us where it gives us the whole path, like the path of where monitor is installed. Config.yaml might be interesting. Jekyll theme, that doesn't really give us anything, does it? Settings.php maybe? We're looking for credentials here. Always want to look for credentials. Amenhotep even crazier? Oh, of course. Everything is crazy in ancient Egypt. What a wacky society it was. I just thought Imhotep was funny because I thought of Brandon Fraser. Okay, this looks like just the main page. This is just the page. We want, like, the database credentials if we can. Is there, like, an includes? Maybe assets? Because there was other stuff in there. PHP. Okay, PHP info. User preferences, site settings. Something that refers to database. We're looking for database stuff. Check what users are on the system. I mean, there's lots of enumeration we can do, fellas. Obviously, there's a million things we can do. I'm just looking for credentials first. We see a Fox user. But you should always be go looking for credentials first. And if there's some kind of a database, there's going to be database credentials somewhere. Maybe functions.php? There's got to be database credentials somewhere if there is a database. Probably just going to do a grep tag R here in a second. Let's just do a grep tag R. Password. Okay. Got some CSS stuff. Come on. This is not helpful. Holy shit. How much fucking JavaScript is there? Okay, now it's just... I'm not even touching it now. And it's just continuing to go forever. Great. Alright, well that was fucking useless. Can you explain how you can move your cursor on the terminal? What do you mean move my cursor? That was that whole sequence... Like, you mean like this? Where I can go back and forth like this? That was because... I stabilized my shell at the beginning. I did that Python 3 import pty.spawn thing. Essentially assets config. Yeah, there is a config. Maybe site settings? I don't know. Monitor data default. Services schema. Maybe they don't have a database or anything. Oh, there is no MySQL. Okay, maybe there's just no database. At least no database in like the sense of... We'll let that go for right now, I guess. Let's go to the home directory. Fox. We do see a local.txt that we can access here. So we'll read that. Settings.php. I already tried that one. Come on. Settings.php? I already looked at this, but I'll look again. It doesn't look like there's any credentials or a database that we can harvest credentials out of. Yeah, there's no password or anything in there, probably. So we're probably just out of luck there. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I know, sweetie. I know, love bug. I know. Check pull kit. I'm not gonna use more recent exploits that are not the intended pathway of the box. That's just lazy. But yeah, you should check pull kit. If this was a real box on a real assessment, then yeah, you should absolutely check pull kit. Did you honor the malding redemptions? Yes. To the extent that I could, because I was not malding at that time. We hadn't even started the box yet. Okay, we put the local.txt in. We do have some kind of reminder thing from root that's readable. So let's check reminder. Crypt with crypt.php, done, it works. Work on decrypt with crypt.php. So we probably want to go looking for crypt.php, I'm assuming. We do not have www.data's password. There probably isn't a password set for www.data. There is devil. This is a directory, and we have execute permissions in this directory. Let's try Sue Fox, maybe? Fox? No? Zoff? Nope. Crypt.php. Let's look for crypt.php. See where it is. Is it in options? Optional? No, it's not there. There is no crypt.php. It could be that it's not in a directory we can see. Maybe it's in devil. It might be in devil and we can't see it because we don't have it read. We don't have read it permissions. So we probably need to get to the Fox user. My thought at this point is that we need to get into the Fox user. Datadir.json. That's the directory that I created with monitor. Yeah, this is just what I created. Maybe logs. Offline JSON old. We're looking for any kind of a way. We probably want to get to the Fox user. Yeah, we could check cron jobs. We don't see anything there, but it could be in his cron tab. Let's do var mail. No. Etsy cron D. CD PHP. Okay. This is just purging old PHP sessions. Doesn't look like there's anything there. We're not going to be able to read roots cron tab. We checked for SUID binaries, and I didn't see anything. But I'll go back up and look again. We could run pspy to see if there's anything going on there. All of these look normal. I feel like there's got to be a password somewhere. I feel like there's got to be a password to get to the Fox user, because we cannot get into Devil here. I feel like that's where we want to be. Oh, maybe we can. We can't list it. PHP crypt.php. Okay, so there is a crypt.php in here. The question is, what is it doing? Which, easy enough. Easy enough, we can just list it. Echo crypt. So let's find out what's going on with the PHP crypt function. Have you checked options? Yes, I have. I've checked the optional directory. PHP crypt. Okay. We'll return a hashed string using the standard Unix DES-based algorithm or alternative algorithms. So is this a password here? Or what's the second argument? Oh, this is assault. Let's see if this is Fox's password here. Oh, it is. So there we go. Now we're the Fox user. We did it, chat. That was kind of nifty. You had to kind of assume that there was a crypt.php in there. We did it. Where did we get the idea of crypt.php? That was... FBI, open up! Holy shit, dude. Every fucking time. Every time with that shit. There's this reminder here, written by root and readable by us. And it says crypt with crypt.php. Now, we cannot list the contents of the devil directory, but we can kind of just assume that crypt.php is in there. Because we did a find for it. It wasn't anywhere else in the file system that we could see. So we're going to assume that crypt.php is in there. And it turns out we can execute it and we can cat it out. We can actually read the file, and it just has the password in it. Let me get caught up on stuff here. Gene-Aid with the 13 months. Welcome back, my friend. Good to have you back in the stream. Sadco with the follow and then the immediate subscription. Welcome to the All Has Red Team, my friend. Thanks for supporting the stream. Good to have you here. Full Stack Live. Dimma the Matiker. Dimma the Matiker. Thank you for the follow. Superpower Bowser. Sharpshot. Thank you for the follows. Mr. John Droid. Thank you for the follow. Caslo. Auntop. Europo Bray. W. Zooks. Thank you for the follows. Moko Copium. Thank you for the follow. Hun Di Jala Vezi. Thank you for the follow. Laroon Kingle. Thank you for the follow. Thank you all. Cthulhu Fountain. One and all for those very kind follows. It's good to have you all here. Any questions about any part of that we just did before we continue? We don't yet have root. We still have a little ways to go yet. Any questions? Damn, dude, that was a lot of follows right there. Yeah, that was quite a few follows that we got there. Question. Okay, ask your question. I'll hold a little bit until while we get questions. What are you drinking? It's just water. Just water. 90% of the time I just drink water on stream. Go over how you moved laterally from www data to Fox. So we go into the Fox's home directory. We first saw that there was a Fox user in Etsy PassWD. We check Fox's home directory, and we see this reminder, and we see this devil directory here. The devil directory's permissions indicate that we cannot list it, but we can execute inside of it. So we can we can change directories to inside of there. And this reminder mentions something called a crypt.php, which is inside of this devil. It turns out that we have read and execute permissions to crypt.php. I didn't get that crypt thing. It just took a little bit of guessing to figure out that the devil directory had crypt.php inside of it. So what was the vector? We managed to get a shell after file upload, and then just a privesc with this crypt.php. I wouldn't say it's a privesc. It's just a lateral move to the Fox user. We are not yet root. It just took a little bit of educated guessing that crypt.php was in this devil directory, because we did a find for crypt.php in the rest of the file system and didn't see it. My man, you got to be on the Diet Coke wave. I have plenty of Diet Coke in the fridge. I just don't drink it on stream. By the way, I thought I'd mention, since a bunch of people seem to be enjoying this, every single day I've decided I'm going to drop a new red teaming tip on my Twitter. Today I dropped how you can run a payload in PowerShell without using invoke expression or invoke web request. So every day on Twitter I'm going to be dropping a new little tidbit for you to improve your red team ops, to improve your knowledge. So if you're not following my Twitter, I recommend it. If you want those little tips. Well, that's Fox's password. Let's decrypt it. We already did decrypt it. So the crypt.php is encrypting the password. Let's look back at it again. Crypt.php is encrypting the password, and we found that out by looking at this. It takes a string and a salt, and it outputs the des encrypted version of it with that salt. Does that make sense? So this is the decrypted version. This is the decrypted version. It's not encrypted. There's nothing to decrypt. The DNS text record is 200 IQ. Yeah, I've used that before. That's one of my secret. That's a secret sauce for you right there. I'm dropping you guys my secret sauce on Twitter, okay? That's my secret sauce. If I have to use on a real assessment, if I have to use PowerShell to download a payload, that's the way that I do it. You've never seen that on stream because there's just no need to. There's no need to, and I have to set up a whole DNS server and everything for it, and it's just a pain in the ass. But on real assessments, I'm always going to have a DNS server because that's how I can... I always have domains that I'm beaconing out to for my C2 anyways. So it's easy enough to just go into the domain and set a text record. How do you know a DNS record is burned? If they block it. If they block it, or I have reason to assume, or I see hits on it. If I see hits on it that are not my payloads, like as in blue teamers are poking at it to see what this weird domain is, then I could probably guess that it's burned. There's lots of ways. Burned means that the blue team knows about it. The blue team knows about the domain and knows it's malicious. That's what burned means. Okay, let's see if we can privesc here. Let's do sudo attack L first. We do have his password, so we'll paste it in. Okay, so we do see HPing 3, ICMP, and then we have the happy wild card at the end here. So we're going to go to the usual. We're going to go over to old reliable GTFO bins. And we're going to see if HPing allows any kind of privilege escalation vectors for us. HPing 3 and then just bin sh. If the binary is allowed to run as super user, it does not drop the elevated privileges and may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain privileged access. Well, let's see if this works for us. User is not allowed to execute. Unable to resolve bin sh. So, okay. So what is? It looks like this is a little bit different. We're restricted to doing it with the TAC ICMP. Well, let's see which HPing 3 does first. See if we can figure out. It looks like it's doing TAC ICMP. ICMP mode. Well, let's see if we can ping ourselves. We got our IP address down here. Ping ourselves. Okay. All right, and then it also gives us the ability to kill all. And it lets us kill all the pings. I guess that's to keep stuff from just pinging infinitely. Let's see. Okay, so we don't want to look at the write-up, obviously. We see GCFO bins. Okay, so we're putting it in ICMP mode. The question is, how can we leverage that? There must be some other stuff we can do with HPing 3. What other stuff can we do with HPing 3? Can we do, like, a information leakage? It just gives us the host, and then we can add probably other options. No, you can't do... I don't think you can do that. We might be able to set... We might be able to do information disclosure. If we do... can we set, like, the... TTL. It looks like we can set various... It looks like we can granularly set various aspects of these things. So we can probably... What we can probably do is... this is quite interesting. We can probably set one of the fields in the ICMP packets to, like... data from file. How interesting. Well, let's do this. Let's do TCP dump tech I ton 0 ICMP tech W ICMP.pcap. Let's just get some we'll collect ICMP packets and we'll output them to a file. Can we get the data from a file? Can we get, like, Etsy Shadow? file Etsy shadow. Tac E option useless without tac D. Okay, what is tac D? We're just figuring this out on the fly here. Where is tac D? Data size. Okay, tac D. We'll do, I don't know, 1024. Hopefully that's in bytes. Okay. All right, so let's see if we sent any of that data. Okay. We did see some packets. So let's do Wireshark ICMP.pcap, and let's see if we could see the contents of those packets. So here's our ICMPs. Data. And there does seem to be some data in here. Oh my god, I'm such big brain, chat. Chat. How do I do it? How does he do it? How wacky is that? Look at that shit, chat. So now we have an arbitrary file read as root. That was pretty cool, right? That was pretty cool. I've never used hping for that purpose, but that was pretty fucking cool. I like that. Does anybody have any questions about how that happened? Does anybody have any questions? What the fuck just happened? So what hping allows us to do, I haven't used hping a whole lot, but what hping allows, hping is essentially a way to ping. It's another option to like do pings, but you have much more granular power to modify what the ping packet actually contains within it. ICMP packets have a data field.
A hunter must hunt.
ICMP packets have a data field that that can have arbitrary data in it. Just arbitrary data. And because of this, you can actually egress with ICMP. You can have ICMP reverse shells. We've seen that on stream before even. You can have ICMP reverse shells. You can exfiltrate data with ICMP. There's a lot of flexibility that you have with ICMP. And it looks like hping just has the ability to just read files. Was the tac D necessary to get that info? Yeah, you have to... The D is like the size of the data field. Like how much data to read from the file, I guess. Danger Gur, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back to the All Has Red team. All Has Wrinkly indeed. Okay, so we have the Etsy shadow file, effectively. We have the Etsy shadow file right here. It looks like the last part of it got cut off. But we can try and crack roots. This is roots hash right here. The last part of it got cut off, probably. But we can save this. We could, before I try and crack this, because it's a SHA-512 hash, and it may not crack. So before we try and do that, let's just try and pull down... let's see if root has an SSH key. Okay. Let's see... Okay, let's see if we can get the same thing. Let's see if we can capture an SSH key. Okay. So we come back over here. And we do file. Let's give it a little bit more. Let's do 2048 this time. I don't know if there's a maximum size that it'll accept. I don't actually know. But root.ssh ID RSA. Okay, so we're going to ping ourselves. Okay. That should be fine. Let's go back over here. Wireshark ssh.pcap. Okay. See if we see the data field here. We do see a data field. Let's show packet bytes. And we do see the private key, but again, it's been cut off, so we're going to have to give it some more. There is an SSH key here, but it looks like it's been cut off at the end. Okay, let's do it again.
A hunter must hunt.
Let's do ssh.pcap again. I don't know if there's a maximum size that can be done here. Let's do 4096 this time. Okay, good enough. Let's go back over here. Wireshark. Okay. SSH request. Show packet bytes. And there's the full SSH key. We can just copy that out. We have to change the permissions because SSH is really picky about permissions. And let's get logged in as root. There it is. I'm looking for my proving grounds so I can get the IP address there. And we're logged in as root. Any questions about that, chat? That was sick. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that's a bit of an unusual Privesk right there. Bit of an unusual Privesk. Never seen that before. That's one I haven't seen before. You saw I had to kind of figure that one out on the fly. So the tac file flag, yeah. So the actual command that had the arbitrary file read was this right here. So the tacd specifies the size. I don't think it matters what size you pick as long as it's big enough for your file. And then you just read whatever file you want into it. Arbitrary file read via not SSH, ICMP. Via ICMP. Indeed, size. I'm pretty sure this doesn't matter. I think ICMP can just be arbitrary size, but I'm not sure. Can you briefly go over? I never knew hping could do that. Hping has a lot of capability. The whole point of hping is to give you the full ability to modify the packets however you want. Like to modify the ICMP packets however you want. Like if you just look at hping tac-h, which is what we did, you see it gives you a lot of options. You can you can sign the packets. You can dump the packets in hex. You can set any flags you want in there. You can set flags. You can, it gives you, it's almost like Python Scapy. It gives you a full idea of, you can set the TTL. You can set the TTL right here. Gives you the full ability to modify these packets. So, immediately I start thinking, information disclosure. Can I read arbitrary files as root? And it looks like it just accepts a file right here. It just accepts a file. Like, you can just read from a file and put it right into the data field of an ICMP packet. So there you go. Could we crack the hash? Probably not. I'm not going to try. SHA-5 12 hashes are incredibly slow to crack. They're very, very, very slow. Like, if I let it run the whole day, it wouldn't even get through RockU. Not even close to get through RockU. Static Vortex, thank you for the follow. AMQ Kala, thank you for the follow. Teddington, bringing Philip Zenek into the cult. Welcome to the All Has Red Team, Philip Zenek. Thank you so much, Teddington, for your support of the stream. Cynics, thank you for the 4-month Prime re-indoctrination into the cult. Welcome back to the All Has Red Team. So when you ping your own machine, the file data will be in the packets. That's right. Yeah, so I ping my own machine, I capture the packets, and I open them up in Wireshark. Any other questions about that? I'm sure there are other ways to do it. Do the pen test report. Okay, so the first thing we found was this monitor /mon. Like, if you just browse to the web page, it brings you straight to this /mon. Now, I've seen this before. I've seen this monitor with 2 R's before on a different box. I don't remember where, but I've definitely seen it before. And I remember it was in a I remember it was in a context where it was vulnerable. So if you do search exploit monitor, you see a couple of exploits, both for 1.7.6 M. And if you check, you can see down at the bottom here, it might be hard to see on the stream, but it actually says monitor 1.7.6 M right here. So you just take this unauthenticated remote code execution. We executed this manually, but you could have probably used this script to do it just fine. I believe we had it open over here. Yeah, so this is the script. You could have probably just executed this to get a pop a reverse shell immediately. I did this manually. Year of the Jellyfish head monitor. We definitely did do Year of the Jellyfish. What CTF? This is Proving Grounds ICMP. We're going to do another box, by the way. We're going to do another box. Hello, just joined. Did HPing 3 have SUID? No, it did not. It had, it was sudo. We could sudo it. So sudo tac L. We could execute this. So because of this asterisk on the end, that means we can tack on whatever options we want. So we tack on the tac D data size, and then the amount. This is the amount of data to read, and this is the file to read it from. This is a great firewall evasion technique, by the way. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, ICMP exfiltration is a thing. It's definitely a thing. Now, network monitoring tools will catch it, but maybe not. It depends on the environment you're in. But there you go. We're not done today, by the way. What was the intended route? No idea. I'm assuming it was this. I'm assuming this was the intended route. I mean, someone can check the walkthrough if you want and tell me if it was the intended route, but it has to have been something with HPing. Where do I find the CTF? This is Proving Grounds Play. We'll do another Proving Grounds, don't worry. Let's get the root flag and we can move on to another box. Keep asking questions. Let's get proof.txt. Keep asking questions if you have them. I'm just going to submit the flag and move things along here. Okay, so we do get the flag there. Let's do another box. We cannot do DC4 because that we determined that one does not work for some reason. So that was a nifty box. I really enjoyed that one. We've already done seppuku. I'm gonna err towards ones I have not done yet. Blogger is a new one. Drifting Blues. Bottleneck. Assertion 101. Born to Root. Okay, get your votes in. I can't wait to try this out on Tuesday, see if we can detect this at work. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know how widely used it is, but it's definitely a thing that people can do. We've seen it before. You can get a whole reverse shell in ICMP. ICMP is fully weaponizable. There was one box called Minion on Hack the Box, which was blocking all egress ports. We found remote code execution through a CGI bin, but all egress ports were blocked. We could not get back to our box at all, so we had to get it. We had to use a we had to use an ICMP reverse shell. Man, you have such a different methodology than me. I'm just going to sit here and spam linps the whole time. I do use linps. Don't get me wrong, I do use linps. But I like to do some basic enumeration first. There's like several commands I like to check first, because those are more common privesc vectors. Like, I like to check SUIDs. I like to look for credentials that my user might have access to, like database credentials for a web server and so on and so forth. I like to look for sudo tacl. I like to look for cron jobs. I check all those things first before I use linps. Before I use linps, I check all that stuff first, okay? But don't get me wrong, I do definitely check for... I do definitely run linps if I get stuck. Swap your screens? We're choosing a box first. We're choosing a box. Neck angle bad? What do you mean neck angle bad? My neck is in a normal angle right now. Thoughts on Proving Grounds versus Hack the Box? Proving Grounds is easier, but more similar to what you might see on OSCP. It looks like Blogger was selected, so we'll go ahead and start that sumbitch up. Okay. If you have questions, feel free to continue to ask. Okay. Do you have any tips for people wanting to get better at CTFs? Do CTFs. Like anything else, there's no tip. You just have to do CTFs. The more CTFs you do, the better you'll be. Hack fast and hack hard, facing straight forward, not to the left. I normally do. It's just I like to be looking at least somewhere in the region of my camera when I'm talking to you guys. So that requires me to have the hacking screen over here. That's just the way it is. I think your room needs more color. The problem is that there's just so much light saturation. When I move, I'm gonna have to pick an office that doesn't have any windows, so that I can control the lighting a lot better. The problem is that there's so much light saturation that it's hard to. I do agree I'd like a little bit more color. But given my curtains, now you're talking crazy. You're just talking crazy talk, okay? I should put up curtains, though. I should legitimately put up curtains. I'm just too lazy to do that. Did you specify for the file to be a PCAP file, or is it the default file type for ICMP packets? It doesn't have to be a .pcap. If you just specify any file name. I just specify .pcap, just because that's my preference for naming PCAP files. Awesome community you have. Hey, thanks for being here, Pomps. I hope you take part in it. It's good to have you here. Cynics with the 4-month re-indoctrination into the cult. Welcome back, my friend. All right, looks like Blogger is starting right now. This Breath of the Wild low file? This is not Breath of the Wild. This is Majora's Mask, sir. This is Majora's Mask, sir. And you need to fix your neck angle? My neck angle is just fine. I promise you my neck angle is fine. I wish I could volunteer, but I have frequent... No, I don't blame my mods for being busy. I just need to have at least 1 or 2 mods in here on the regular, and the only one that's in here on the regular is Maticus Maximus. It's no shade to my mods that they're busy. I'm not arguing that. This is all pro bono work. There's no, I'm not bashing them at all. I just need at least a couple of mods in here. That's all. Proving Grounds, Blogger is what we're doing now. Do you use any note-taking app? Yes, I use Obsidian. I use Obsidian, but Obsidian does not have a cloud-based version, whereas Notion does. So I've heard some people using Notion just because it has, you can easily pull them down online. I just like Obsidian's layout. It's simple and uses Markdown. Do you have a checklist for the common vectors and from experiencing before moving on to the uncharted path to compromise? So the first thing you're going to want to do, especially if you get code execution through a web server, the first thing you want to do every single time is look for database credentials. If you get code execution through a web server, you look for database credentials every single time. Look for credentials anywhere on the web server that they might have. Your first priority when you get access to any user is to look at the places where that user has access and get code and look for credentials. That's the first thing you should do every single time. Okay. No matter what user you gain access as. With a web user, it's gonna be the database. You're looking for the database credentials. After that, you want to check to see if the user has sudo permissions. You want to check for SUID binaries. You want to check for cron jobs. You want to see what groups your user is in. I usually check all those things, and I check a couple of common places, like the optional directory. The /opt directory is often where people store installed programs and stuff. So you often find custom stuff in there. There's often interesting stuff in /opt. You can look for mounted directories as well, especially if you're inside of a container. You want to definitely look at mounted directories. Like that, if I've exhausted all of that, you want to look at processes too, see what root is running. If you've exhausted all that and you still don't see the path, you want to, at that point, I would probably run linpiece. I hate that. We have such different opinions on pen testing. What do you mean by that, Dreywad? No, everyone's got a different workflow. Everyone has got a different workflow. You asked me what my workflow is, and since I'm Mr. Streamer, I'm assuming you want to see what my workflow is. So, I'm telling you what my workflow is, but that doesn't mean you have to do it that way. That doesn't mean you have to do it that way. I just prefer to try some common stuff before I go to the enumeration scripts. Because the enumeration scripts output a ton of fucking information. And I don't want to sift through them unless I have to. Okay, we have 22 and 80 open for sure. But you don't need my workflow. If you have a better one, then use what works for you. Blogger. So is this the first question we want to ask here? Is this some kind of CMS? 2018 recognized, designed by W3 Layouts. Let's do view page source. We're looking for any kind of an information. We see W3 Layouts. Any kind of is this some kind of CMS or what is this? Okay, we get mail@example.com. This looks like all these links lead nowhere. Let's start GoBuster and let's do a full port scan while we're here. We probably don't want the PY extension. Probably the PHP extension. We definitely do want to check robots.txt. So make sure that we check robots.txt once I'm done with this. No robots.txt. Images, assets, CSS. Harry Baker. We see Lorem Ipsum stuff, but we see a Harry Baker. This is probably this could be a user. So So let's mark him down. Close up the Necronomicon here. Proving Grounds, new notes. What is this? Blogger. Let's put Harry Baker in there. GoBuster is for fuzz. Yeah, there's lots of ways that... Yeah, GoBuster is just going to brute force the directories and see if there's any directories we can't see. We just lorem ipsum content here. Service 1, Service 2. My name is James. I'm a programmer. Log in. We do see a login page here. Test at test.com. Test. And did that actually send a request? Sending a post request to index.html. It doesn't look like that actually sent a request at all. It does not appear to me that that actually sent a request of any kind. So it looks like that's just a dummy login page. Did that send a post request to index.html as well? But this time, at least, we have post data. This one, we don't even have post data. This one, we at least have post data, but there's it's just an HTML page. There's not going to be any parsing. This neck angle is whack. My neck angle is fine. He doesn't follow any of the basic principles. I don't think I agree with that. I think I follow all the basic principles because I'm a professional. If I wasn't following the basic principles, I would not be a professional, in my opinion. But you know what? Other people have different ideas. We do see that the name of the site is Blogger. I'm looking for like a domain. Is there a domain? I don't suppose there's like a... It doesn't look like we found any ports open. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, search exploit. I don't think W3 layouts is going to be... Again, if it's just... Yeah, we get nothing. So there must be something with GoBuster. We could look at JavaScript. There's a /JS. It's giving us a redirect, but it might be something. Okay, so we can see some stuff here. Lightbox. So... Is there anything that here? The jQuery stuff, move top. It's a jQuery plugin. jQuery stuff. Oh, God. Is this box from them or somewhere else? This is Proving Grounds is Blogger. Blogger on Proving Grounds. At the moment, we're trying to find basically just about anything. It's not Try Hack Me. It's definitely not Try Hack Me. Focus on a domain name? Oh, I agree. The question is what is the domain name? Because I don't see... Like, Blogger, sure, but Blogger dot what? It can't just be Blogger. And I one of the first things I did was scroll down to the bottom here where I could see, like, the email address here. Well, we looked at JS. It looked like it's mostly jQuery stuff. CSS probably isn't interesting. Let's look at assets, I guess. I'm remiss if I don't look at all the directories at least. Fonts, images. We have another JS directory. More jQuery. Okay. Smooth scroll.js. This looks like it's just display stuff. It doesn't look like it's like an API or anything. Fonts. What the fuck is this? Okay, well, this is interesting. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Blogger.tryhackme. And another WordPress site. So, and then we have a WP content indicating that this is WordPress. We do see blogger.tryhackme. The reason that these images are not loading is because we don't have the right domain. So I guess that answers our question. .tryhackme. I would not have guessed tryhackme. Banner says it's Proving Grounds. It is Proving Grounds. We are on the Proving Grounds right now. I don't know why it's blogger.tryhackme. I don't know if this was a tryhackme box at one point. Maybe tryhackme and Proving Grounds are starting to cooperate or something. Now, there might be some kind of virtual host routing here. Okay. There's no virtual host routing, but if we go to Assets, Fonts, Blog, now we have, now it looks much nicer, right? And the reason it looks nicer, the reason it looked bad before, is because all of these assets are being referenced with blogger.tryhackme as the domain. And it couldn't find them before when we were just using the IP address to access the machine. So now it knows where to find, now the browser knows where to find all these assets. So it's much prettier. So this is now obviously a WordPress machine, WordPress blog. So we want to do WP scan. We definitely want to do WP scan. I don't think I need the proxy. I think we can just do the tac URL. I think that'll probably be enough. Let's enumerate users and all plugins. I do not want to update right now. Okay. XML RPC enabled. Upload directory listing enabled. WordPress theme is Poseidon, King of the Brocian. We do see... We see two users, JM3S and JatM3S. Author posts, and this is by brute forcing. So this is probably the correct one. So if we, yeah, James, JAM3S, okay. So this is probably the actual, if we click on this, we can see that this is, we have a user here. So before we continue, we did not find any plugins. So let's start brute forcing James. And we'll have that going in the background while we further enumerate. Okay. Let's do 50 threads. Just really hammer it. Just pound it. Pound it like Riley Reid. Let's make sure it gets started. This is kind of an old version of WordPress, but I don't expect any remote code execution vulnerabilities in it for sure. If you don't provide the API's key, it will skip the plugin scan. Incorrect. It will not. It will still find the plugins. It will not find the vulnerable ones. It will not find any. It will not double check those plugins for vulnerabilities. It will find the plugins. I have a API key. I just am too lazy to go and get it. I mean, I can demonstrate that. It's worth actually a try. But let me log into it on my host. WP vuln DB. The reason is because my password manager is over here. And I don't know any of my passwords. All of my passwords are randomly generated garbage. There we go. Is it API token like this? I always use it on real assessments, but I rarely use the API token on stream. Not because I'm afraid of leaking it. You can just get your own API token. There's no reason to use mine. Just get your own. It's free. TacTac API token. Just get your own token. It's free. I just don't use it because it's not usually necessary. If I find plugins, that usually means that they're vulnerable, like on a CTF, so I just start Googling the plugin to see if it's vulnerable. Let's do TAC-E all plugins. Let's do plugins detection aggressive. And the reason you want to do this is while you're waiting to see if your brute force pans out, which so far it has not, when you have a WordPress blog, 90% of the time, if your WordPress blog is vulnerable, it's not because of any vulnerability in WordPress itself. It's because either somebody brute forced the admin's password or there's a vulnerable plugin. WordPress third-party plugins are full of holes. Let's turn on plugins detection aggressive, just to make sure we get all the plugins. I guess we'll go ahead and update, just in case. I want to make sure we get all the plugins. It doesn't look like it found any plugins, but this is definitely always something you want to enumerate. Okay, so you see how we have all these vulnerabilities that it's reporting in here now? These are SQL injection. What is this? Oh, this is WordPress. In WordPress itself. I just got done saying it's usually not a vulnerability in WordPress itself. And maybe this one is a vulnerability in WordPress itself. Which terminal is this? This is CRT, cool retro term. Most of these vulnerabilities look like they are authenticated, which does not help us because we do not have credentials. Okay. This is recent, I think. Yeah, 2022. This was added 5 days ago. 5 days ago. The get bookmarks function does not validate and escape a parameter before using it in a SQL statement, which could lead to SQL injection when user input is passed to it directly. This is 5 days ago, so I'm going to assume this is not relevant. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. I guess this is not the intended route. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree that it's not the intended route. Yeah, people are saying it's not the intended route. I would have to say that is probably the case. We didn't find any... Yeah, no plugins found. No brute force is working right now. Did GoBuster find anything else? No? I'm going to kill GoBuster. ETA 53 minutes. Okay, maybe we can speed this up. Is there a plugin I'm supposed to find, I wonder? If it's not brute forcing the username, it must be a plugin. At least that's my thought at this point. I thought the brute forcing was going to work, to be honest with you. Well, let's just play around a little bit. Be the first to comment. Test. Test. Test at test.com. Test. Post. Okay, interesting. We can comment. That's a little unusual. We can comment. Is it like a cross-site scripting thing? I am wondering. Let's do like a script. Let's just do a basic cross-site scripting thing here. My guess is this won't work. Yeah, it looks like it is. The waiting for approval made it seem like... let's do inspect. It's probably getting escaped. My guess it's probably getting escaped. Comment link. Copy to clipboard. Attach an image. Can I just attach anything? Let's do Proving Grounds. Which one was the one we did before? ICMP. Let's do all files down here. Let's just do Cthulhu.txt. Not allowed file type. Okay, so... But what... Is this just built into WordPress? Because I don't think this is a plugin. Let's look at that again. Since there legitimately is nothing else to look at. Okay, PDF, not allowed file type. Okay, let's try to upload just a... Let's try the GIF. Is this supposed to be an image? This is supposed to be an image. What about the GIF from Kate before? Kate, ICMP. It was in Cthulhu. No, it was in 48, 980. I just want to get the GIF magic bites. Let's try that now. We're just trying stuff. I don't expect any of this to pan out. I'm just trying stuff while the brute force goes on. I'm just like forcing myself to actually enumerate things. But my suspicion is that one of these brute forces is going to bear fruit at some point. Like, it's either going to find a plugin or it's going to find a password. Vim Cthulhu.txt. Paste that in. PHP. Echo Cthulhu fhtagn. System. $_request. Fhtagn. Okay. Alright, so let's try and upload that since it's got the magic byte. So if we do file, Cthulhu.txt, it says it's GIF image data. So let's try and upload that instead because it's looking for an image. Proving grounds. Did it accept that? It accepted that. Holy fucking shit. Oh, it's just interpreting it as text. It did accept that, though. Dude, did I just find a fucking CVE? Is this a CVE? This has got to be like... It accepted that. We bypassed the filter. Did we just find a CVE live on stream? What the fuck? If I change this to Cthulhu.php, is this going to work? Wait a minute. If I just change this to Cthulhu.php, is that going to work? Oh my god, it accepts it. Oh, it has a PHP file extension and everything. Oh my god, that is code execution. It's executing it. That's why we're not seeing the PHP. It's executing the code. Holy fuck. What the hell? Is this intended or is this a CVE of some kind? I haven't seen this on any of the What is this? Is this a plugin or is this just WordPress? There's no way this is just WordPress. What? Is this? It hasn't found any plugins that it's... I mean, it's still looking. Are there any... Is that intended? I have no idea. It's like an older version of WordPress. Did we like... Wait a minute. Normally... Wait a minute. Is there like a... That's code execution. This is unauthenticated remote code execution. I do not expect WordPress to have unauthenticated remote code execute. Let me just verify that it is actually executing the code before I get too excited. We do see... Okay, yes! This is code execution.
Now, this seminar this weekend.
Send to repeater. Change request method.
So alien from anything that we understand in the West that it may stretch your skulls a little. I don't know.
Yeah! Code execution.
Because, of course,
It's intent. Oh, damn it. Damn it. I was excited. I was like, is this an unauthenticated remote code execution in WordPress that we just found here on stream? Like, I didn't expect... This has got to be some kind of plugin. Authenticated code execution. File upload to cross-site scripting on Apache web servers. This has to be one of these. What did we miss? There's a lot of them here.
You've tried everything to make something work.
FBI, open up!
Yeah, WordPress did, WP scan didn't catch. Apparently not. Like, I was just passing time waiting for it to fucking do its thing, and I'm like clicking on it, and it had like a be first to comment thing down here, and I posted it. I tried cross-site scripting, and I know there's this little image here, and I just put the magic bytes because we just did the magic bytes thing. I put the GIF magic bytes in here, and it accepted it. I don't know. This is an old VulnHub. This is a VulnHub machine for sure. I don't know, dude. I'm not sure why WP Scan is not catching any of this. It must be one of these vulnerabilities, I guess. But I generally do not expect the WordPress itself to have an unauthenticated remote code execution in it. Vulnerabilities are found in WordPress, but they're usually authenticated, and they're usually like cross-site scripting and stuff like that, which is not all that useful for CTFs. Authenticated post type, authenticated file delete. Usually when you find a vulnerability in WordPress, it's plugins. WP Discas. This is a plugin, right? Yeah, WP plugins. This is a plugin. Okay, we do actually have plugin. Okay. Is this unauthenticated arbitrary file upload? There it is. Okay. So, we just had to do the aggressive plugin. Yeah, we had to do the aggressive plugin brute forcing. That explains it. So, it's not a CVE. This has already been discovered. I just didn't think that was a plugin, but it looks like that this plugin is vulnerable to authenticated arbitrary file upload. We just kind of found it organically, rather than... What did you change beside the magic bytes? Nothing. I just put the magic bytes in there and made it a .php so that it executes. Does that make sense, what I did there to everybody? Does everything I did there make sense? If it doesn't, I'll explain it further. I just didn't expect to find a remote code execution like that. I expected WP Scan to find something. But it looks like we just got RCE. Yeah, there we go. There's our...
Hackerman.
I'm in. What was the command? I missed that. This is just a bash reverse shell one-liner that just connects back to our netcat listener here. Do we have Python 3? I've said before that if you want to get some CVEs under your belt in no uncertain terms, the best place to look for CVEs is in third-party WordPress file plugins. If you find some obscure third-party WordPress plugin and you poke at it, I promise you're going to get yourself some CVEs. I guarantee you. If you want to get some CVEs on your resume, that's the best way to do it. Export term 256 color. Okay. STTY rows 111. Rows 34 calls 143 or columns 111. Rows 34 columns 111. And now our terminal is properly sized. Okay. So the first thing we want is WP config. We definitely want WP config. Assets. Fonts. For some reason that the web root is in the fonts directory. Cat WP config.php. Why do we want WP config.php, chat? Why do I want WP config.php? We went over this
addition to my collection.
We want the database credentials. WordPress keeps them in wp-config.php. I don't know where Monitor keeps them, but WordPress is very, very common. So if if I compromise a WordPress blog, I know where to look for the credentials. Cat, Etsy, passwd, grepsh. We see a James user, Sue James. See if we can get over to the James user with this super secret password. A very strong password. Nope. No luck with James. We do see a Ubuntu user. An Ubuntu, if you will. Am I pasting the correct password in? Yes. So that is the password. Let's MySQL tac u root tac p. Paste that password in. We can get into the database. Show databases. If I could type. Use WordPress. Show tables. I think it's WP users. Select star from WP users. And we do have a password here. Okay, admin@blogger.tryhackme is his email. So we can quit out of here. Okay, let's go vim james.hash. We want to get James's password if we can. John james.hash. Okay, we'll see if that hash cracks for us. We can terminate this. That's not going to be useful to us. See if this cracks. Very similar to a Try Hack Me box, Jeff, I think. I don't know. I've never done a Try Hack Me box quite like this one. I'm not saying it's not. It does have a Try Hack Me fully FQDN. So, yeah, don't know. This is a very nice box. I like it so far. We kind of organically discovered an RCE, which is pretty cool. It doesn't look like that's going to crack, but we'll just... I don't want to sit here and wait for it. So like before, we're going to go looking. Let's go to the home directory and see what's in here. Oh, there's a Vagrant user. Sue Vagrant. Try pasting... Oh, that's going to be the hash. Shit. I don't want the hash. Let me copy and paste the password again. Super secret is the database password. You don't need to specify the hash type. No, John will auto detect it in most cases. Vagrant. Nope. Let's check the opt directory. Creds. It's readable. Cat.creds. Is this encrypted? What is this? This looks like just garbage. It doesn't look encrypted. It just looks like ASCII text. File.creds. Yeah, it's just ASCII text. Unless it's encoded in some way. It could be It can't be rotted. I think this is just a red herring. What do you guys think? This looks like just garbage. Hashcat supports auto detect, does it? I've been using Hashcat a certain way for so long now that... Dump it under CyberChef? I guess we could do that. We might as well. Can't hurt, right? Let's cat creds. Pipe it into less. Let's make sure that we get the proper data. This looks like just ASCII text. It looks like it's just a red herring to me. I don't think it can be encrypted unless it's some kind of encoding I'm not familiar with. It could be some kind of it's a trap. I mean, it does seem like it's it would, if it's encoding, it's some kind of encoding I'm not familiar with. But we can see what... Yeah, again, it doesn't look like it's anything. We'll let that go, but I'm going to kind of discard... It can't be encrypted or anything, because it's all just ASCII. If it was encrypted, you'd end up with all kinds of different bytes and shit. Find root, tac name. I don't know, tac perm. Let's try SUID binaries. I might know an unintended shortcut to root. Don't know if it was this box or another one. Well, don't spoil it. Techie64, Veeds, and Camo. Thank you for the follow. Cthulhu Fountain to all three of you. At PKExec. All of this is normal. All that's normal. We can try sudo tacl as www data, but again, I don't expect www data to have sudo permissions. Groups. See what groups we're in. Let's see if we can read any of the home directories. CD James. Okay. Local.txt is here. That's good. We can read local.txt. We can read local.txt. Progress. Okay. So we do have local.txt. Okay, so we do have that. Did you try the default vagrant password? What default vagrant password? What? Sue vagrant. What, vagrant? Doesn't look like it. Sue... Like, vagrant default password? I'm not familiar with a vagrant default password. Default password, which is vagrant. I just tried that. Didn't work. Yes. The vagrant default Okay, apparently. Okay, well, you learn all. Listen.
Apes together strong.
Every so often, chat just knows, okay? Every so often, chat just knows. I did not know that there was a vagrant default password. I did not know that, but now I know. That works more often than you think it would. It definitely does, but it's not something I typically try. Like, I did not try Sue James. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, this is fair enough. This is fair enough. It's not something I would have tried. Especially because I already tried it. I must have typed it wrong the first time. Okay, I'll accept it. So we are the vagrant user now. We do see quite a big bash history file. And the bash history is not symlinked. So what do we have? We do have... We do have something. We do have some stuff here. It looks like this is the user setting up the box. This person has forgotten to... Sue James and Chamaad 600 user home James user.txt. It looks like when OffSec set up this machine, they just made local.txt readable by everybody for some reason. So he deletes James's bash history file. And then what is this? Business. He types cat instead of echo. Try hack me, you did. Okay, so this is the... That's the... So this must be a try hack me machine at some point. Or it must have been a try hack me machine at some point, I guess. Because that's the try hack me flag format. /data. There's a /data directory, which we haven't looked at, apparently. Proving Grounds player, community made. Yeah, I know, this is VulnHub boxes. Usually these are old VulnHub boxes. Maybe this person submitted it to both VulnHub and TryHackMe. So this is the same, essentially the same, except just this one starts with flag. Cat user.txt. So they're just setting up the user.txt files. /data/root.txt. Sudo tac L. So at the end here, he does sudo su root. So he's just, and so I ran sudo tac L, and it turns out you can just fucking, okay. All right. So a little bit of a rough box. Little bit rough around the edges on that one. That's okay. We did it, chat. We did it, Reddit. By the way, speaking of Reddit, did everybody see, honestly, the funniest Reddit post of the year? Did everybody see the funniest Reddit post of the year? Did we see it? Did everybody see it? It's important to me that everybody has seen the funniest Reddit post of the year. The song? Yes, of course. What else could I be talking to? What else could I be talking about? Okay, you want to see the funniest Reddit post of the year. This is... we're done, by the way, we're done hacking for the day. Well, I'll just stick around for a few more minutes. But this is honestly the funniest fucking shit that I've seen in a long fucking time. Hang on a second, let's find it. Let me find it. I can't escape it. The memes are absolutely hilarious. Helen of Tor sent me one early yesterday morning, and I woke up, I'm bleary-eyed, I grabbed my phone, I turned the phone on, I checked the text message, and I just busted out laughing. Half awake, I just busted out laughing because it was that funny. I'll show you the meme that made me laugh that hard, but we gotta look at the post first. Here we go. It's my Firefox history remembers it already. Here we go. All right, this is the post. I'll put this link in chat. And I swear to God, this is some of the funniest shit I've seen. My girlfriend of 2 years told me the music that I play during sex is weird and a major turnoff. So you can read through this if you want. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. It's pretty short. Basically, the guy says that when he was a little younger, he was self-conscious that he was bad at sex. So he read somewhere online that one way you can practice sex or something is by listening to a song and mimicking the rhythm and using it to mimic the rhythm. And there's one particular song he really likes that he's been playing with his girlfriend for 2 years. For 2 years, he's been playing the same song with his girlfriend almost every single time. And I don't know what you're expecting. But I promise you that what's waiting on the other end of this link is not what you're expecting. We gotta do it. Okay. Here we go. Ready? It's not a Rickroll. A Rickroll would be better. So far it's not too bad. That's the key. It lulls you into a false sense of security. Yeah, exactly. Cat jams. Oh my god. This is the meme that Helen of Tours sent me the other day. And I laughed so hard I think I almost cried. I know, it's absolutely the best. The last frame with the flex really just kills it. Oh yeah, I forgot the best part of the whole post. The best part of the whole post is... I thought this song was so perfect, and I always thrust along with the tune, and I feel it gives me the perfect rhythm for doing the deed. How would you even thrust to this... How would you even thrust to this fucking tune? Okay? It's fucked up the relationship, to be honest, because sex feels awkward now. The other day we were having sex with no music, but I was still thrusting to the tune playing in my head. She recognized this and asked me to stop. It's so good, dude. It's killing me. It honestly, it's honestly the funniest shit ever. Like, this is some fucking hilarious stuff. All right, hang on. There's another funny meme. There's another funny meme that Helen of Tours sent me. Hang on a sec. How many bedrooms do you think this song played in over the weekend? Oh my god, I totally would have played this in the bedroom. I absolutely would have. Alright, here we go. This is another funny meme. Okay, no, this is not yet. Okay. Here's another meme for you. Oh my god, it's so funny. That's so good. Anyway, just in case you hadn't seen that, now you have, and your life is invariably better because you've seen it. And as you can see, the amount of upvote, the entire internet has teamed up to like make fun of this guy. the entire team, like the entire internet is this out of nowhere, this fucking random song that nobody had ever heard until now. Thankfully. This song has 3 million views now. 3 million views. Just out of nowhere. It was made back in 2011. I can't erase this from my memory now. Thanks, dude. I've been laughing about this for 3 straight days. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. For 3 straight days, I've been hysterically laughing about this. Oh, yeah, the comments are even funnier. A moment of silence for the poor woman suffering 2 years of this. I remember one of them that was like, dude, the music sounds like a clown. The music sounds like a blow-up clown doll falling down the stairs. I genuinely think it's beautiful how mere days after that post was created, millions of us came here and momentarily set aside our differences to support and feel a fraction of that of the pain of that poor woman who had to endure this for 2 years. She's not a victim, she's a survivor. The comments on the Reddit post are also great. Like, this man literally fucked his girl to robot dolphin sounds. This sounds like an inflatable clown toy falling down the stairs. It absolutely does. I honestly, the comments are absolutely a goldmine. Absolutely a goldmine. I highly recommend checking out the comments on your own time. Like, again, on both the Reddit post and the actual video, because they're an absolute goldmine. Apparently, he has a whole playlist. Apparently, this is only the song he likes the most on the video. And there actually is a whole playlist. And now people are trying to badger him to release the whole playlist. Like, because we have to know. Posterity must know what the fuck is going on. That has nothing to do with hacking. I've just been thinking, that's been living rent-free in my head for 2 days now. Oh, Chris Nova is streaming. Is she? How come it doesn't say? Oh, she's doing Rust. We'll raid her anyways.
The root is custom
Chris
generated
Nova,
on
good
the fly.
good friend of the stream.
It doesn't use a real CA.
Good friend of the stream. We'll raid Chris Nova. All right. Any last questions before I go, chat? That song was on Workaholics. Was it? She's been streaming for over an hour. Well, we're gonna be raiding her now. Do you plan on? When do you plan on starting the Python series? Like the Python pen testing series? I could do that next for my next full release YouTube video. It wouldn't be this week, but it'd probably be next week. The next stream will be Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. Tuesday for Newbie Tuesday. We'll be doing Wreath, I believe. I think we're going to do Wreath. Yeah. We're going to be rating a good friend, Chris Nova, who's doing some... I don't know. She says she's doing Rust. She's doing some security. Chris Nova is way smarter than I'm ever likely to be. Just FYI, she's the real fucking deal. She does like all kinds of like, she's written like kernel rootkits and shit. This is the real fucking deal. So if you want to know how to do the real shit, Chris Nova is where it's at. Okay, check her shit out. Yeah, we're gonna give her the glad tidings of Dread Cthulhu. Go to bed tonight knowing a little bit more than you did yesterday. I'll see you guys again on Tuesday when the stars are right. Check out my new YouTube video if you have interest in writing your own malware. There's a Patreon video coming this week. Stay safe. Love all you guys.